Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to tonight's broadcast of Round 5 of Season 4 of the Dega Pros Little Guys Series, here live for the first time on PGR eSports. My name is Dawson Wise, and I'm coming to you in a bit of a new format tonight, trying something new as we are live from the virtual broadcast booths here, if you will, from the virtual Talladega Super Speedway. Qualifying on track. We'll get trackside shortly, but before we do, want to intro the race really quickly. This is the last regular season race. 4 winners up until now, a chance for one more tonight, a chance for 15 guys to potentially lock their way in on points here tonight. We'll get to that in just a moment as qualifying continues on the Speedway. Before that, I do want to introduce one of my broadcast partners tonight. We'll be joined shortly by Matthew Baker, my usual broadcast partner here on Monday nights. But for right now, we'll be joined by our third member of our team tonight, a pit reporter. He'll be a little bit of everywhere tonight, a jack of all trades, the owner of PGR eSports and team owner of Team PGR, none other than Michael Triscaro. Mike, a lot of new stuff going on around here. Something new again tonight. It's the Little Guys Series. You're back with us in the booth. I can't wait. What are you expecting out of tonight?
Oh man, it's the cutoff race, man. We got we got 4 guys locked in, so those guys are safe. We got another about 6 drivers that are good in points right now, sitting pretty, but then we got a host of other drivers. I'm counting about 10-15 drivers that all of a shot to get in the night. Who knows who's going to win this race too. You could have a winner that's in 20th position in points, and that could change everything. So super exciting. These races are some of the most fun to watch every week, and I'm looking forward to calling this race with you guys and trying to give a different perspective here tonight.
Well, certainly will be a lot to look forward to on the racetrack. And again, we'll get to the points scenario in just a moment. But as we stand now, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight and bearing with us as we try something new. And we're going to go trackside here for qualifying. And with 2.5 minutes to go, times will start to roll in there in the top left of your screen. But before then, Mike has a focus driver here as we get ready for the final race of the regular season.
Yeah, Tucker McClendon, he's out there, 29-year-old from Chattanooga, Tennessee, big Tennessee Volunteer fan. Unfortunately, they were not able to get it done and get to the Final Four, so I know he was a little bit bummed out about that. But here he is tonight. He's finished 18th or worse in every race this season so far due to being wrecked out. But, his plan tonight is to survive all the wrecks, work with his teammates. He wants to be there at the end. So he's going to kind of drop back, I think, early in the race and work his way up to the front, as the race spreads out a little bit, and try to get to that first pit stop unscathed. We've seen it in the past in some of these races. Once we do get to that first pit stop, the field stretch out even more and potentially become a caution-free race. So great strategy out of him. He hasn't had the best of luck, but, Tucker McClendon's going to be my featured driver tonight. I'd love to see him get to victory lane. Cool about Tucker, I got to talk to him a little bit more. He's an avid golfer. Obviously, we mentioned he's a big Tennessee Volunteer fan and loves to hang out with his wife and their 2 dogs. So we're going to cheer a little bit here for Tucker McClendon up in the booth tonight, and good luck to him and see if he can sneak his way here into the the finals.
00 of Tucker McClendon as we wait him to take his qualifying lap. He's running a time currently, I do believe, there's a minute to go in the qualifying session. And as we start to talk about points, as we hit the 60-second mark here, we will double-check that real quick as we can set the scene for you as we head into this race. So, with 4 races complete, we are now down to the final race of the regular season. There are 4 drivers tonight locked in on winning a race. They are the 87 of Austin Green, the 40 of Logan York, the 78 of J.R. Miller, and the 4 of Brock Westmoreland. In on points as of tonight, so locked in, mathematically ineligible to be eliminated, so they are locked in, are the following: Heath Job in the 760, Tyler Vickery, Ryan Bass in the 73 for KSR, David Sheets in the 06 from McCullough Motorsports, Trevor Osbernoth of KSR, and Richard Elliott of BAR. So 10 drivers as of tonight are locked into the championship race no matter what happens over the course of the next 50 laps. From there, it gets a little bit interesting. 11th through 19th, not locked in by any means. Dustin Carruthers, 30 points above the cut line. Mike Davenport, 26 points above the cut line. Ash Brambilla, 24. Zach Range is 19. Ron Morris, 16 above the cut. Mark Vondell, 15 above the cut. Danny Barnes, 12. It is Thomas Parker plus 6, Bobby Forbes plus 2. The drivers below: Cole Fitzpatrick minus 2, Sierra Clampert minus 5, Aubrey Thompson minus 6, Devin Ray minus 7, Robin Rawlings minus 8, Tucker McClendon is 9 below the cut. Philip Wilkinson, 13. Matthew Patton, 13. Anderson Souvenir is 15 below the cut. Michael Clay is 17 below the cut. The pole is a point. That point is off the board because Austin Green, one of our winners, took advantage of grabbing the pole, so no point given out tonight for the pole of this race. Leading a lap is a point. Obviously, again, going to be a little bit hard to tell you in real time who all leads a lap, but leading the most laps is 1 point as well. We'll keep an idea of points as we go throughout the night. 27 are in the field, which means there'll be 31 points, I believe, awarded to the winner. So 31, then 26, 25, and so on. So as we get ready to go in this race, the field is getting onto the racetrack, and we'll get into your starting grid as it is Austin Green in the 87 that will start from the pole. To his outside will be KSR's Devin Ray, one of the drivers below the cut line that could use a good night tonight. It's a pair of KSR teammates on the second row. Trevor Osborne in the 89, Dustin Carruthers in the 10, and their teammate Ryan Baste, who is locked in on points. He'll start from 5th. Logan York, he's locked in on a win. He'll start from 6th. Nash Brambilla, he's trying to get his way locked into this championship race. He'll start 7th. Mike Davenport for PGR will round out an all PGR row number 4. Richard Elliott in the BAR machine, he's locked in as well. He'll start 9th. And Mark Vondell, he needs a good run tonight. He will start from position number 10.
Yeah, Zach Range, he'll start in 11th position tonight. And in 12th position, it will be PGR's Brock Westmoreland, who has a win on the season. Starting 13th is Ron Morris Jr. In 14th will be Cole Fitzpatrick. Starting 15th tonight is KSR's Thomas Parker. And starting 16th is Sean Corbett. David Sheets will start 17th for McCullough Motorsports, as Danny Barnes will start 18th for Hyper Motorsports. Nice to see Sierra Clampert in the field tonight. We'll try to get a word with her later tonight. She'll start 19th. And rounding out your top 20 will be Larry McDonald.
Final 7 cars in the field tonight. J.R. Miller in the 78, one of our winners from that darkness-ended race earlier in the season. He'll start 21st. It'll be his teammate Tyler Vickery. He's locked in on points. He'll start from 22nd. Heath Job's locked in. He'll start from 23rd, with Joey Allen starting in the 24th position. It'll be Michael Clay in the 33, starting from position number 25. Our focus driver, Tucker McClendon, will start tonight from 26th. Rounding out the field will be Joey Galati. So as we get ready to go under the green flag, the final opportunity to get your way into that final race, it's going to be a good one. I cannot wait, and I hope you all are ready to go as well. As we get ready to go, share the link. Tell everybody it is Little Guy Night in America here on PGR eSports for the first time. We could not be happier to be bringing all the action to you. Austin Green, Devin Ray are on the front row as we get ready to go under the green flag. And look, Mike, you've been in a share of these long races before. What's the game plan if you're one of these drivers, starting here maybe in the middle of the field, let's say? It's one of the guys that's maybe not locked in. You need a good run. Say like a Mark Vondell. Say like a Zach Range. Say like a Sean Corbett. One of those guys. What's the game plan here as we get ready to go green?
Me personally, I would say in the past, it's been a little bit different. It would be kind of like Tucker's plan would be, to kind of sit in the back and wait it out. But lately, my game plan, and especially in races like this, are get to the front early, stay in the front, and when you make that pit stop, you have all that delta built up since you're in the front. You pit farther back, you lose all that delta to the leaders. It could catch you. Once they pit, you could be farther back, and it could get strung out. So my goal right now is get to the front, stay out front, and get in and out of pit road as fast as you can, and stay there up there with the leaders.
Last chance to get your way into the championship race. It's tonight here from Talladega. Into the restart zone for the first time they will come. Austin Green waiting on the flag. Green flag, we're racing from Talladega. Lap 1 will be complete as they pass the start-finish line. It's a quick move to the bottom for the KSR entry of Devin Ray. He needs a good run tonight below the cut line. Missed a couple races this season. He's here tonight, and already KSR flexing some muscle here at the front of the field as Carruthers is up on the outside. And as soon as Ray gets to the lead, he leads the lap, and he goes to the back. So Devin Ray, 6 points now off the cut line as it stands. Carruthers, another driver not locked in, needs a good run. One of the most dominant drivers in the history of this series. Still has yet to capture the prize that is the championship. Looking to get back and try for another opportunity. But look at the aggression by the winner, former winner this season, Logan York, as he'll go to the lead off turn number 4.
A ton of aggression early. Logan York leading the charge there on the outside lane. Austin Green pushing him pretty hard. Now you got a slew of PGR drivers. Nash Brambilla, Mike Davenport, Brock Westmoreland all lined up there on the outside as well. They're going to push Austin Green here into turn 2 as Logan York's going to stay there leading on the bottom as KSR's Dustin Carruthers is going to move up now. We have a lot of action here in the front of the pack.
A ton of action. These guys are really racy. They know the stakes that are in tonight's race. A note on Carruthers. If he leads this lap, he'll get an extra point. He'll be 31 points above the cut line. We'll try to keep an eye on as much of that as we can tonight. No promises as the race gets a little more dicey, but look at the push on the bottom. It's KSR teammates Trevor Oswanoff and Ryan Baste, who both are locked into this race. York sees those guys coming, doesn't want him to get lined up. He goes up. He blocks Carruthers, and that leaves Oswanoff the bottom lane. Oswanoff Baste locked in. Carruthers not locked in. Logan York, Austin Green, Richard Elliott locked in. From there on back, bit of a crapshoot. Nash Brambilla, Zach Range, and others give Logan York the point right there, the former winner.
Yeah, Logan York looking pretty aggressive here tonight. I know we've talked a lot about him in the last couple weeks, and especially in a lot of the money races. If he could just rein in that temper a little bit, I'll tell you what, the kid's got a long way to go. But I feel like he's going to turn the corner here shortly, understand a lot of things, and if he can gain some more respect from these drivers, Logan York's going to be someone to watch out for in every single money race he's in.
Carruthers doing a good job working lanes. He now drops down in front of Logan York, 3 wide further back. Couple of the hyper trucks, couldn't tell which 2 it was off the top of my head. Looks to be Heath Job, Larry McDonald stepping out of the line, but getting right back in. May have been going backwards, actually, now that I look at it, as they are trying to get out of the mess that is the front of the field, because these guys are racing hard. And, I mean, we didn't note it in the pre-race, but there is pit stop strategy to be discussed. I mean, Baker talks about it all the time, how these guys can undercut, how these guys can run it long. 15, 16 laps, about the range tonight in these pit stops. So about now would be when that window opens to just go ahead and undercut the first stop and make the last 3 runs full-length runs. We'll see if anybody tries it here tonight, see if anybody's desperate enough to get off cycle early. But right now, none of these guys in the front want to. Logan York, Dustin Carruthers side by side, but don't look now. The KSR train on the bottom of the racetrack, 3 trucks deep along the yellow line, and might allow Oswanoff to get clear here off turn number 4.
Well, yeah, you mentioned the strategies, and it's going to play a big part in this race. I know right now the 2 top teams, KSR, PGR so far in the Little Guys series. We'll see what Nash Brambilla has in store for these guys tonight. He's kind of the ringleader here of the PGR team. Usually, good fuel savers, great on pit stops. It's something that they beat KSR a few times on, but KSR has been very, very strong in the last week. A team that's, firing on all cylinders right now, really working in unison. I've actually raced a little bit with these guys, and I'll tell you what, man, they're winning races right now, and it's going to be tough to beat tonight, those KSR boys.
Well, several of them desperate to get back in the win column. Dustin Carruthers wants to, a 5-time winner in this series. He wants to go to victory lane one more time and lock himself into the playoffs. A couple of those other trucks, Devin Ray, notably, as Austin Green jumps out of line, he'll go to the back. Devin Ray below the cut line, he'd like to win his way in here tonight. Thomas Parker, he sits right around that cut line. He'd like to lock his way in as well. So several of the KSR trucks have a lot more to race for tonight than some of the other guys in the field, and they're showing it early, getting Oswanoff and Carruthers here to the front, along with Ryan Baste. Thomas Parker looms as well, about 5 deep on the inside. And I don't know about that from Austin Green. I mean, nothing to lose tonight for the 87. I'm not surprised he's going to bail out, go to the back, and ride it out here for a moment, but I am a little bit surprised he didn't stay up here and jockey with these boys, considering nothing to lose tonight for the Embry-Riddle Ford F-150. But nonetheless, he goes backwards, and it really is going to bring those PGR trucks forward even more. York, Range, and then a trio of PGR trucks on the outside, Brambilla, Davenport, and Westmoreland. Westmoreland is locked in. Brambilla, Davenport are 24 and 26 above the cut line, respectively. They could use good runs tonight, and as such, they're at the front. PGR starting to flex some early muscle as well.
Absolutely, they are. And our featured driver here tonight, Tucker McClendon, kind of doing as he said. He's going to hang out there about mid-pack, farther back, and he looks like he's just going to take it easy and try to log some laps here before the pit stop. So look for him to be on the move very shortly as this fuel window closes, and these guys got to get near the front for their pit stop. So looking forward to hopefully what's going to be a green flag stop here tonight.
Halfway into our first run of the race. Now remember, a couple weeks ago we did not have many green flag pit stops. It was a lot of cautions, a lot of interrupting the stops. We had a couple green flag opportunities. Trouble! Logan York is into the outside retaining wall. He goes sideways right in front of the field. His teammate McClendon is involved. Austin Green is involved as well. Zach Range, big damage on his truck. And for the first time tonight, the caution flag is out above Talladega Superspeedway, and that was a hit and a half for Logan York, last week's winner. And to me, it appears that truck may not make it all the way back to pit road. We'll get a quick look at this replay. Logan first on the bottom. You see him already out of shape down there in front of Carruthers. Let's see what happens here in the middle of turns 3 and 4 as he was on the nose of the 10. And I think, let me see, I think he might just slide across the bumper of Carruthers. And yeah, just a little offset left there. You see that? Great camera angle right there. You can see he gets offset with Carruthers, goes up off the bumper of Range, and my goodness, vicious contact with the outside wall. And I'll tell you, I'm not sure how this didn't collect more trucks. You see Tucker McClendon get a piece of it right there. We just talked about the 00. Sean Corbett, Cole Fitzpatrick, so all three of those teammates are involved. Larry McDonald slides into it. Joey Galati and Austin Green slide into it. Looks like Michael Clay gets a piece of it as well. Heath Job. Vickery goes through the grass. Boy, we got to look from up top, but that was an early rough push there from Dustin Carruthers. And Mike, I mean, you've driven these trucks more than I have in these kinds of races. It looks like an offset push to me on the 40 from the 10.
Yeah, it did. It was a little offset right there, but I'm still kind of shocked that it turned Logan York. I know Logan being a good driver and Dustin Carruthers, it didn't look obviously anything intentional there. Dustin kind of just riding around, and very interesting there actually, to say the least, with him turning him. Don't see it too much on. I mean, it wasn't really that bad of a offset push. You know, they're just kind of doing their thing there in the middle of the turn, and unfortunately for Logan York, you know, he's going to go straight up into the barrier there. But like you said, it didn't take out too many of the front guys, but unfortunately it looks like a lot more guys here in the back that were probably taking it easy, unfortunately, kind of got collected up in this mess. So sometimes you take it easy, and that's your strategy, and it kind of backfires early, and that's what it's going to do here for some of these guys in the back tonight.
Yeah, it definitely appears that way. We'll take one more look at it here from, let's see if we can get the blimp cam perhaps, and that's about the same angle we had before, but let's keep an eye on Zach Range this time because there's a little bit more extracurricular that happens after the initial contact. So you see the initial incident happen there. York goes into the outside wall. Big hit for him. And as Range comes back down, man, David Sheets really lucky right there. Same with Danny Barnes. Goodness, how did those trucks avoid that? Sean Corbett, Cole Fitzpatrick kind of unlucky. Lucky break for J.R. Miller that it all stayed up above the yellow line. He's able to drive on past. And, man, a lot of good trucks involved in this one. And that's a tough break for a few of those guys. Now, luckily, Logan York, like we said, not much to race for him tonight, but for some of those other guys, I mean, an early setback for them, and with no fast repair in the field tonight, could be a night ender for a couple of them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You hate to see it, especially with a longer race. You know, obviously up here we're loving or waiting to see some green flag stops, and we enjoy that strategy. We still might have some tonight, but definitely an unfortunate incident there to kind of start this one off tonight. Hopefully they can get some of these trucks repaired and get back on that track. We know, you know, they're not as much tanks anymore, Dawson. That's kind of what I've noticed over the last couple weeks. You know, when these trucks kind of changed in the mid-year last year, later on in 2023, you know, it seems like they were tanks, and all of a sudden, you know, that armor's a little gone. So it's going to take a little bit more fixing up to get these back out here up to speed. So hopefully these guys can, you know, get these trucks worked on and get back out there, and hopefully they're hitting that top speed.
Several trucks. We'll go through kind of the point situation of who's involved. Austin Green, Logan York, Heath Jobe, we already said, were all locked in, as well as Tyler Vickery, so no harm, no foul for them. They're all in the playoffs as of tonight, well over the threshold for being eliminated. Now, the drivers who are around or above the cut line, that is really going to hurt. Zach Range was plus 19 going into that wreck. He's going to have to hope he can fix that truck. I don't know if he can lose enough spots tonight to be able to drop out of the playoffs, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, if you're Cole Fitzpatrick, if you're Sierra Clampert, Devin Ray, Tucker McClendon, a couple of those others, you kind of want to see the 043 stay on pit road here. They could take advantage. Fitzpatrick was 2 back of the cut coming into tonight. Clampert was 5 back. Ray was 7 back. McClendon 9 back. And Michael Clay was 17 back. All drivers, they could very easily make the championship race should everything pan their way tonight. So with 1 to go on the pace truck, we'll try this again. Take another shot at a green flag effort. It'll be 39 laps to go. Lap 12 will be on the board. We'll reset the field for you. Carruthers and Brambilla are now the front row. Mike Davenport, David Sheets, row number 2. It'll be Brock Westmoreland and Ron Morris, row 3. It'll be Osranath and Richard Elliott on row number 4, and Thomas Parker, Mark Mondell rounding out the top 10. And speaking of a couple of those drivers that kind of need good runs now, especially that Range is in problems, that Bobby Forbes, I don't believe he's actually in the field tonight. I did not see him. And yeah, with a couple of these guys having some rough starts to their night, let's get an update on where some of those drivers are. Sierra Clampert, 5 points back. She is 12th on the speedway right now. Actually, I think she actually might be 11th on the restart. So the 17, the best out of those trucks. Devin Ray is back there, as well as Danny Barnes and a couple of the other trucks that need good runs tonight. So here we go again. Pace truck is down, leaves the field in the hands of the winningest driver in the history of this series, Dustin Carruthers for KSR, and he'll have Mike Davenport some strong help on the bottom side of the racetrack, and they will bunch back up, tighten back up, and we will try this once more. Green flag is back in the air, and we are back underway on lap 12. Bottom gets going. Top does as well. Not quite as good, not quite as organized. Bottom a lot more stacked up, but look at the help Brambilla's going to have into one. David Sheets to his back bumper.
Yeah, David Sheets back to his back bumper. Dustin Carruthers here in the lead. Nash Brambilla, he's going to fight here on the outside. Looks like he's going to take the lead here coming out of turn 2 on the backstretch. Sierra Clampert, actually, like you said, she is in 11th, 12th place. We're going to try to get a word with her shortly. It looks like she's here on the high side, about 5 or 6 trucks deep. So as soon as we can, we'll get a word with her. We're going to let her race a couple laps here and get back with that here in just a second.
Brambilla to the inside. He'll inherit the lead. It's now Sheets with his teammate Ron Morris up on the outside of the racetrack. David Sheets, former winner in this series. Ron Morris knows how to get to victory lane in this series. A pair of teammates both looking for good runs tonight, and they're up on the outside with Richard Elliott helping them. KSR starting to make their way forward once more as well. Devin Ray, Thomas Parker, Trevor Osmanoth all coming to the front. David Sheets, how about that surge to the lead? How about the 1 from McCullough Motorsports? He'll go to the race lead in 1 and 2. Ron Morris, Richard Elliott now pretty much left by their lonesome here on the top side of the racetrack as the 76 and 02 awaits some help. Carruthers going to get to the folds of his teammate there. I have no idea how those trucks made that work. Somehow they did. It checks up the middle line, but nonetheless, KSR starting to line up, starting to form up in the middle lane. Richard Elliott will now have the top to himself. Ron Morris to the lead in turn 3.
Yeah, that checkup hurt J.R. Miller and Devin Ray's run. They had a good run, but as soon as Dustin came up, that kind of, Trevin and Parker had to get out of the gas a little bit, so that was going to check them up. Luckily, no wreck there. Good wreck avoidance by those guys. But it's going to be a lot of KSR and a lot of PGR here on the top. As JR is going to look to go 3. Is Devin going to hang him out? He looks to go. He's going to go back middle. He's going to hang him out, but Austin Green's going to pick up JR Miller.
If you want the guy with the most confidence in the field coming into tonight, it is absolutely the 78 of J.R. Miller. He has had one of the best weeks of anybody in terms of money racing. Obviously a winner this season in this series in the Darkness race a few weeks ago. He won last week's Tuesday Night Thunder race to lock his way into the playoffs in an incredible solo effort. Not a solo effort, but trouble! Carruthers is around right in front of the field. The 10 goes sideways, and he's going to get into the outside wall, and another crash here 14 laps in, and this one involves the KSR entry of Dustin Carruthers, and oh man, he gets hit again on the apron, and the tough luck keeps on coming for the driver of the 10.
Yeah, it sure does. I'm going to go back and check out this replay and see what happened here. kind of the second incident for Dustin Carruthers. We'll see if he was the cause of caution here, or if not, maybe there was a checkup. It looks like the pusher was pushing the pusher. We're going to go into, it looks like turn 3 here. Oh yeah, he's just going to come down the track, and Ron Morris is there, and that's what's gonna ultimately turn Carruthers. So looks like another one on Dustin there. Not sure exactly if he saw Ron down there, but Ron had that position, so Dustin came down right across his nose, and sure enough, that's gonna spin him out 10 out of 10 times.
Well, it's the worst example of what we like to call tunnel vision, and it's been a problem really kind of since the new truck package was introduced about last June. Is this issue when you're following so closely to the truck in front of you, you're able to really lean on their rear bumper, and the problem is when you're focused so hard on the rear bumper, trying to line up that push, and you're getting pushed from behind, unfortunately sometimes that guy's going to clear down, he's trying to go either down or up the racetrack to switch lanes, and you just follow him. And unfortunately, you can't tell the surroundings around you. You start to creep down the racetrack. That's what happens to Carruthers there, and he gets sideways. And I'll tell you, I thought he had this saved. It looked to me like he was going to make the save when he when he comes off the bumper of Ron Morris. You'll see it here into the corner. He gets into Ron Morris right here, and as he comes sideways, he's going to actually the truck's pretty much going to right itself. It rights itself right here on the transition. But unfortunately, it happens so fast. Obviously, we're in slow motion. It happens so fast that Carruthers is already reacting. He's already correcting back to the left because he thinks he's already sideways. And as he comes back up, he's actually going to do some friendly fire. He gets his teammate, Devin Ray, backs into the outside wall. He's actually going to do some more friendly fire because along comes Ryan Bass. So, man, the bad luck for KSR this season continues as 3 of their trucks end up involved in that incident. Danny Barnes, I think, might have missed it.
Good braking by him for sure.
Oh, man, all the way down on the brakes. And you see Joey Galati, he's going to slide in here late. He's actually going to catch Carruthers a second time here, right about here on the transition. And a tough break here for Dustin Carruthers. Well, actually, we'll go on board with Carruthers because I want to show you kind of what I mean by he's already correcting back to his left. So I'll also show you what I mean by tunnel vision. So look at how close the Carruthers is to the back bumper of Elliott. Now watch as they go into 3. Watch how slow this movement is. And he's creeping down, and by the time you realize it, and right there, see that turn to the left as he's correcting? Unfortunately, it happens so fast that as he corrects back to his left, he's already straight. It turns the truck, it grabs the ground, and turns him back to the left and gets him spun in front of several different trucks, including 2 of his teammates. So tough break there for Carruthers. He'll sit on pit road, try to get it fixed, as several of his teammates down there as well. Devin Ray is on pit road fixing damage. Heath Job is on pit road fixing damage. Michael Clegg, Joey Galati as well. Tucker McClendon is down on pit road fixing some damage. So several trucks taking advantage of the caution. And we pace under lap 16 with J.R. Miller, the leader at Talladega.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can dial up Sierra Clampert here up to the booth. She looks like she's going to be running in the top 10 right now. So Sierra, if you're here, we'd love to see you out here in the Little Guy Series. We look at you now as a seasoned money racer, especially after a PGR podium not too long ago. Obviously, you were able to avoid that wreck there. What'd you see out of your front windshield?
It's so funny. Right before the wreck, I literally was like, yeah, I'm going to lay back a little bit. Something's about to happen. And then it was immediate.
Well, that's a big key, obviously, here in the super speedway money racing scene. Always wreck avoidance. So did a good job there. How do you assess the racing so far, and how confident are you, to get your first money racing win here tonight?
I think I'm slowly making my way up and up. That's usually how I do it with these kind of races. I start kind of like in the middle of the pack and then work my way as I can go. But I think that I don't want to jinx myself, but we're gonna try.
No, that's absolutely. Well, we love to see you out there. It's always fun. I'm sure you got your stream going out there tonight. All the people watching you here race. So we're cheering for you up here. It's a different series. It's a little different than PGR and some of the other ones. You got less drivers, but they're all still pretty hungry. So is it aggressive tonight? Is it a little less aggressive? And are you kind of looking forward to maybe what could be a green flag stop here?
Yeah, I think that it's always, every time it's going to be trucks at Dega, it's a little bit aggressive no matter what people you're racing with. And honestly, all the people that we race with are really, really good no matter what.
Well, for sure. Well, good luck tonight. We're going to keep an eye on you, and hopefully we can be talking to you here tonight with the podium finish.
All right. See you soon. Yeah.
So a quick word there from Sierra Clampert. She's running well so far. Position number 9 on the speedway, getting ready for the restart here on lap number 18. And with 33 laps to go, you are right on the edge of making this on one stop. I mean, it is razor thin. It'll be very, very close. We'll see if anybody tries to save some fuel, tries to stretch that out as we get into the later part of the race. J.R. Miller is your race leader, and he knows a thing or two about that the last couple weeks. As we were saying before Carruthers got turned, the winner of Tuesday Night Thunder last week ran well in PGR last Thursday. He's on a roll, looking to continue it here into the little guy's regular season finale. Austin Green will flank him to his outside as we get ready for the restart here on lap number 18. Pace truck is down, and into the tri-oval we come, and we wait for the green flag to come back out one more time. 33 laps to go in the Little Guys Series regular season finale at Talladega. Green flag is back in the air, and we are back racing, and Austin Green spins the tires from the front row.
Spins the tires and almost gets spun out there by Trevor Ashford. He's going to be on the apron underneath the yellow. He's going to look to get back in. J.R. Miller's way out there with Richard Elliott. Man, this is going to be crazy here going down to the backstretch.
Really weird sequence there. Austin dove off the racetrack, went from the middle line to the apron, and now is going backwards in a hurry. Not sure what happened on the 87. Perhaps maybe a missed shift. Not sure what happened there on the 87. We'll have to wait and see. And as we form up down the backstretch, we welcome in our third member of our broadcast team tonight, Matthew Baker. Baker, not sure if you've had a chance to load into the session yet, but if you have, what are you expecting out of tonight's race? We don't have him quite yet. We'll get him in a moment. He has jumped in here with us. We'll get him here in a second. In the meantime, Ryan Bass to the outside. He goes to the lead. David Sheets on his back bumper. Thomas Parker, one of the drivers we said needed to have a good run. Look at him right now. Third up on the outside of the racetrack, and he brings with him perhaps the man under the most pressure this week. The first man on the cut line, Cole Fitzpatrick in the 9 as he comes forward. Really aggressive driving from the driver of the 9 so far.
Yeah, awesome work right now from Cole Fitzpatrick to run up front. That bottom lane is going to get a little bit of a run here down the backstretch, led by Ron Morris. He's getting pushed by J.R. Miller. Man, and Sierra Clampert's off pace.
Sierra
He's going to go down under the apron.
It was Clamper that was low. Somebody's going to have to try to let her back in. She's still on the apron. Nash Brambilla will lift off the loud pedal and let her back into line. No harm, no foul, and the 17 keeps it going. Danny Barnes still running around the apron, and he'll have to get it back up on the speedway. He will here off turn number 4, but it splits the field up. New leader in the tri-oval, Ron Morris Jr. He goes back to the race lead. Looking back through to see who's coming to the front. Larry McDonald making his presence felt here at the front for the first time tonight. Mark Fondell. And then Austin Green, who, after that, whatever mishap happened on the green flag, he's back already. 6th on the outside lane, and he brings with him PGR's Mike Davenport. And don't look now. If you remember the damage on the 043 of Zach Range, it appears he's gotten that fixed. 5th on the inside, the 043 looks good as new, and he's back to the front trying to race his way forward.
Yeah, Zach Range, one of the really good super speedway drivers. I think he hones his craft in kart racing and also a lot of road racing. So for him to kind of come over from that discipline and to kind of show how good he is at a super speedway race, which is completely different, just goes to show you, the racer in him and how much of a talent he is. So always good to have Zach out here. Threat to kind of win almost too every time he's in a race.
That was a big moment for Ryan based off his teammate's bumper right there, and man, that was really close. Checked up the middle line, actually sent some of those guys back a little bit. Luckily, Ryan able to save the truck and keep it from being calamity. The second group has caught the first one now, or is in the process of catching the first group as everybody tries to group back together. Looks like the only truck affected negatively by that checkup involving Austin Green and Sierra Clampert was Tucker McClendon. Our focus driver tonight, the 00, has lost the draft. He is 20 seconds back of the leaders, currently scored in the 26th position, second to last on the speedway. So he'll need the help of a caution, and with almost halfway, he's going to need it awfully quickly here if he's going to be able to stay in this race. Morris bottom to top, and it allows the bottom to guess who? J.R. Miller, the 78. I feel like I've said that name a lot this week, and it is very much deserved. He runs well again tonight. He'll go to the lead here at the start-finish line.
Yeah, JR has been super strong. He's winning races. He's cashing in races, and I get to talk to him a lot. I know, for him, he had to take a long break at one point, and I honestly didn't know if he was coming back for a little while. And I'll tell you what, man, he came back, and since he's come back, it's started off a little rocky with bad luck, but somehow he broke through, and ever since he broke through, he is just a man on a mission. And even if he's not with his teammates, he's still in the front. He's just doing a great job. And now he's getting pushed there by the 0-2 of Richard Elliott, another guy that I've gotten a chance to work with in a different series as a teammate. And Richard has been hot as well. It's just he gets usually gets a little bad luck bug. So we'll see. He's leading that bottom lane now.
Oh, man. Tough break. J.R. Miller as he gets split. Now they're going to split Ron Morris as well. He goes middle. Up top, it's the KSR train.
3 wide.
Ryan Baste back to the lead as he go 3 wide, and unfortunately Fitzpatrick's going to get the run trouble. And it's J.R. Miller, and he's around right in front of the field, and he's going to slide back up, collect his teammate Mike Davenport, and the caution flag is out once again on lap 23. And, man, from what I saw of J.R. Miller getting spun, that could have been a lot worse for the driver of the 78.
Yeah, I hope I didn't jinx him, because I'll tell you what, if he watches this broadcast back, he might call me out on that. But it looks like he was getting to the bumper around Morris, but before that, it looks like his teammate Mike Davenport might been another friendly fire, but this time for PGR. He looked to go push him square, got offset right just a little bit, slid off his back bumper, and that's going to turn the 78 of J.R. Miller down into, it looked like Michael Clay, if I'm not mistaken. And just another slight offset push is gonna bring out another caution here tonight.
Man, close call for the 17 of Sierra Clamper, and I have no idea how she didn't get involved in this. Sean Corbett does get a piece of this. Dustin Carruthers, well, he might have the best look at this one of anybody, as he somehow is going to play bumper cars, but get by it looks like. Slides a little bit right there, but the 10 narrowly avoids disaster for the second time in a row. But, man, again, with the way that wreck started, I figured we were going to be piling up several trucks. We were going to be ending some nights instead. A really great job by the rest of the field to minimize the damage here. And, I mean, if you're J.R. Miller or Mike Davenport, you're really thanking these guys for kind of keeping it clean, backing it down, and not running right into the wreck. We'll take another look here. You see J.R. slide sideways. He's going to come down. He's going to collect Michael Clay. Man, look at how close he was to the back of Sierra Clampert's truck. And when he comes off of the banking, he collects Michael Clay. Sean Corbett involved as well. Austin Green up top trying to miss it. Same with Danny Barnes. And Osmernoth and Ray come together. But again, for the most part, looks like dings and scrapes is about the most that anybody is going to get in this one. We'll take one more look, and it's going to be the onboard for Dustin Carruthers. We'll go on board with the 10, and buckle up. This is going to be about the most eventful onboard you're going to see all night. You're on board again with the 10 of Dustin Carruthers.
Yeah, got a little word with Mike Davenport there. He just didn't see that car in the middle. He was trying to help his teammate there, that was in the sucker hole. And, they kind of ran up there on Ron Morris. And unfortunately for Mike, just couldn't see through his front windshield there. And, he's going to blame himself on that one. Wish he could have that one back, I'm sure.
A tough break for Davenport and Miller, but again, looks like dings and scrapes, the most anybody got out of that one. So actually a pretty good break for those two teammates. They'll be able to kind of shake it off, regroup, and get right back in this race. About halfway home, halfway next time by, Ryan Baste is not going to be your leader under the caution flag. It'll be Nash Brambilla in the 20, as he, I believe, stayed out under the caution, perhaps. So some strategy plays from Nash Brambilla. We'll see in a minute. I think Michael Triscaro went to get a word with one of his team drivers under the third caution of the night. We'll try again to bring on our third broadcast partner here, Matthew Baker. Baker, do we have you this time, and what are you expecting out of the rest of tonight's race?
Yeah, back here, but it looks like as I did that, oh man, Ryan Baste had some issues. He's blinking out, his engine's revving all the way up, and he had his wheel locked all the way to left. Oh, he got it back rolling now. But ever since I would say that this competition level stepped up in the little guys series, they've got a lot more limelight. We haven't seen many green flag runs like we're used to. Last year we had 4 or 5 green flag races, and we've yet to see one here this year except for the opening race. So it's just I'm looking for more green flag racing to see these guys put the pit strategy into play. It's what we like to see when we come out here.
Well, absolutely. Mike, did you get a word in with one of your team drivers here? What's the strategy on Nash Brambilla in the 20?
Yeah, so Nash Brambilla, he wanted to stay out, lead a lap. He said it's a one-stop race no matter what from here. So he's going to have less fuel in the tank, but with it just being a one-stop, he's going to gain that track position, lead that important lap, and that SummerSlam 499 truck in that that's a cool looking truck, black, orange, and blue there. He's a good strategy guy, and I expect that move to pay off for him later this race.
So mark him down as plus 25 now to the cut line. It's an important point for Nash Brambilla, actually his 50th point of the season. So props to Nash for that. He'll get the lap led right there. And we'll go plus 25 as we go by the start-finish line and get the one-to-go signal. We'll be back under the green flag next time by. And there are 3 of us once again in here. We'll transition. We'll call this one radio style for you the rest of the way home as halfway has passed. And look, 1 stop to go, guys. You guys have been in these kinds of strategy races before, and I've asked this question before, but I'm going to ask it again. A lot on the line tonight. You've got 1 stop left. You can either pit in 9 laps or you can pit in 16. Do you short pit? Do you take the off strategy, or do you run the tank out and try to get as many guys to pit with you as possible?
I think you take the short route. That way your truck's going to stay safe like we talk about. There's no fast repairs in these races, so you're trying to keep your truck safe. Looks like Logan York's already out, so I've already missed the chaos to start off the race, but I think short pitting's the way to go if you're close to that bubble line. That way you're going to be good on fuel, and you'll get that track position if those guys up front wreck.
Yeah, I agree with that. Short pitting for sure, especially if I'm KSR, PGR. Some of these teams with some more drivers where they can keep that speed up single file. If I'm Nash right now, I'm on the radio with my guys, kind of tell them the short pit, just so that I don't have to take as much fuel once he does come down. So I think that's the strat. We'll have to see how that plays out, and hopefully we can go green here because it'd be good to see the outcome of all that.
Well, we'll see what these guys decide to do. Again, the pay window opens at about 9 to 10 laps or so on this next run. I mean, if you're Nash Brambilla, you might have no choice. He stayed out of that caution. We'll have to see what he either has to do or decides to do. And, of course, going to cooperate here with his PGR teammates who are spread throughout the field. 24 laps to go. You got 1 more chance to lock your way into this championship race via a win or via the points system. Into the tri-oval one more time. Brambilla, Based, Elliott, Parker, and Morris, the top 5. The guy to watch on the restart's going to be the 9 of Cole Fitzpatrick, third in line, up on the outside of the racetrack. Green flag is back in the air. Brambilla's up through the gears. Great start for the bottom of the racetrack. Elliott and Brambilla off and running to turn number 1.
Organized up top. Parker, teammate to Based, really off, and Cole Fitzpatrick really, really far off right now. It looks like some sort of problem with Cole Fitzpatrick. He backs up, tries to get to the bottom. I saw him pull out to the 3rd line there in one of those runs as I was loading up, and he backed up to that top line, so making a little bit of questionable moves, slamming on the brakes in front of trucks that are mashed down on the gas. It really could come back to bite him, but he tucks in 4th in line there on the bottom. Base drops down to the bottom. He leads going into 4.
So Based, Morris, 1-2 here under this next green flag run as these guys come off turn number 4, and again, 8 laps until that pit window, but they're not racing like there's a pit stop left right now. Ron Morris to the lead, back to the bottom in front of Ryan Based. Based helped him get there. Now Ron drops down. They'll switch spots, and now Thomas Parker, another guy we talked about needing to have a good run, he's leading the top line all of a sudden. And look now, several guys coming forward. Larry McDonald, Danny Barnes, Joey Galati, Sierra Clamper, Joey Allen, Zach Range all coming back to the front with 23 to go.
Jr. really impressing me. He called it last night. He wants us to call him to a win there after the podcast we had last night with the money stop. So be good to see him get in the victory lane before he has to go race control tomorrow for the Ron Morris Racing at Atlanta. But he's really controlling these 2 KSR trucks back and forth. You think the KSR trucks be wise, and they are. You see Ryan Bass go to the outside. Ron Morris thought about blocking, comes back down. He's going to get a big push from Nash Brambilla. You'll see Ryan Bass get a huge shot from Thomas Parker. Parker, another one really impressing me. Saw him doing really well in the McCullough Motorsports racing race last night on Sunday. But Ryan Bass leads that lap. KSR 1-2.
Yeah, KSR 1-2. Austin Green making his way up from the back. We saw him multiple times go to the back. He's back up there now, about 6-7 deep on the top lane here. Austin Green looking to get back in this thing.
Well, nothing to lose tonight for the 87 of Austin Green. We talked about that at the top of the show. He, Logan York, J.R. Miller, and a few others are locked in. Actually, 10 drivers total are locked in tonight, whether that be by wins or by points. So for Austin Green, I mean, he can kind of kick his feet up on the desk, go race for this thing, and not really have to worry much about points. Bates is coming up the hill, trying to throw the block, but Ron Morris, he says, you can do that, I can do it better. He goes back to the outside, he'll get the lead. Dueling between McCullough Motorsports and KSR here at the front of the field. 21 laps to go.
A lot of real estate that he's leaving up there, trying to get to the outside. You'd think Parker would hang him to the middle, but Morris doing a great job there on that top side. If he was to go up high, I would look for Nash to maybe split it towards the middle. He wants that win. He wants to lock himself in and to get to that next show, but a lot of hungry trucks here that haven't had the best season, but as of late, they've been showing a lot of pace. Larry McDonald, one of those trucks. Cole Fitzpatrick doing well. But don't look now. Here comes that third lane. Austin Green, just like we talked about, getting pushed up. Here goes David Sheets to the outside. A lot of formation coming up. 3 wide, 4, 5 rows deep.
Yeah, you kind of...
Got to think Austin... Oh, go
No,
ahead,
you're
Mike.
good. You kind of took it from me, those Hyper Motorsports guys. Larry McDonald, Danny Barnes now showing some power here. It looked like Larry was going to go third. He probably would have been pushed right to the front. But David Sheets, he's going to lead that third lane down here into turn 1 at Talladega.
Well, I was going to say, you got to think Austin called up the one right there. You know they're working together, the two teammates here tonight. You got to think Austin saw that line coming and said, hey, come on up, let's go to the front. And they're coming to the aid of Ron Morris Jr. in the 76. And, boy, is that a welcome sight for the guy leading the middle line right now. It's 2 of his teammates to his right. And all of a sudden, guys, 6 rows of 3 wide racing down the super stretch.
The line really hung out right now, but that's what Ron Morris wants to see. He wants to see his teammate drop right in front of him. As David Sheets right down in front of Ron Morris, going to lose a little bit of steam on the outside for Austin Green. Austin Green, though, okay with it. He wants one of his teammates to get up there, win this race. David Sheets, Ron Morris doing just that there. Top of that middle row. As you see, Sheets goes down to the bottom. McCullough Motorsports leading that bottom, top, and middle lane.
Well, Ron Morris, as we look at the points, not locked in by any means. He'll go plus 17 as he passes the start-finish line right there to lead a lap, but is by no means mathematically locked in, so would love to just go ahead and win. David Sheets is one of the drivers locked in on points tonight, so he has nothing really to worry about, as well as the guy behind him, Ryan Baste. Now, Thomas Parker, Ron Morris, a couple of others up on the outside of the racetrack have a little bit more to worry about, and that includes Larry McDonald, who we talked about a moment ago, running very well, and he's got a teammate behind him as well. Man, all of a sudden, I see a lot of hyper trucks here at the front of the field, 3 of them up near the front, almost a stack up there with David Sheets, but they get it back together off of 4. Sheets back to the help of his teammate.
We've seen this big race for position here. All this track position racing is really telling me that the pit stops are going to be coming soon. I think these guys are trying to get track position, get up front so they can get out and pit early. If they can't make that happen, at least they'll run it out and they'll have that track position. So I think that's what's key right now in this truck, is just to get that truck up front towards those top 3 rows and try and get your luck out for the pit stops here.
Well, I mean, we've seen pit stops across the nights, between Tuesday, between Thursday, between Monday at times. Now, like you said, not as much this season, but a lot of these guys race other nights of the week. They've seen green flag pit stops. They know now that it's looming, and you're right. Track position will be paramount. It could determine whether or not you're in or you're out of the championship race in 2 weeks' time. Well, off turn number 4, it's about 2 laps till that window opens, and they can start to make pit stops for the end of this race. It'll be the money stop, ironically enough, here at the end of this one with 18 laps to go. 16 to go will be when we pit. It's 17 right now. As look at the bottom line surge again. Nash Rambilla doing an excellent job, but it's Ryan Baste that goes to the point.
Ryan Baste up in front of Dave Sheets, gives him a big shot. Ron Morris going to get his temps there. You see Thomas Parker blinking out just a tad bit. He's back stable. That top line trying to roll again. They only have 2 trucks up on the outside, really trying to make it work, but that middle is going to stack up pretty big time right here. If I was, Larry and Danny here, you got Heath Job up there pushing Mike Davenport. Why not get up there? Davenport's going to give a good shove to Danny Barnes, and Barnes can push. He'll try and give a shove to Larry Mack once he gets up there. Nash Rambilla, though, leading this field, leading this bottom line, as that top line keeps stacking up.
One issue here for the Hyper Motorsports truck, the 760 at Heath Job, took a lot of damage.
Oh no,
early.
Nash Rambilla's off into the infield grass on the trial. He got turned off the bumper of Richard Elliott. He saves it, but it's going to lose him the draft. Unfortunately, I think he lost too much speed in the grass. He got turned, and now he will definitely lose the lead draft. Really unfortunate break for Nash Rambilla.
Like
Yeah.
I was saying, that 760 Heath Job just took a lot of damage early on. Got a chance to speak with him, and that's kind of why he's a little slow, off pace a little bit right now. Trying to get closer to his teammates here, but with a little bit of damage, it's been a little harder for him to get up to speed here.
Going to shake up the points for sure with Nash Brambilla out of it right now. If we can get to these green flag pit stops, it'll put him down below the cut line. I think that'll move Mark Vondel back up above the cut line if Vondel does have a good pit stop and executes on this strategy.
We'll have to see. Right now, I believe the 20th place driver would be Cole Fitzpatrick, or excuse me, 19th place would be Cole Fitzpatrick. So he would be the driver on the cut line if I'm looking at it right. On the point standings right now. So it would be Fitzpatrick 19th, Clampert 20th, I believe, depending on where Brambilla. I believe Nash Brambilla actually should still be above the cut line, even down running in what is going to be the 23rd position. He would be 19 points ahead of Cole Fitzpatrick. So, yes, he would still be above the cut line. So it's not all over yet for Nash Brambilla. We'll have to do the points math a little bit later on in the night, but certainly tough way to get towards the end of this race. Guys, pay windows open this time. Let's see if we see anybody here off turn number 4.
Oh, Nash Brambilla, though, on pit road, he had a problem. I'm going to go ahead and rewind it, see what happened here. Looks like he came down pit road. Oh, no, I think maybe he ran out of fuel.
So it could be an explanation as to why Brambilla went sliding through the grass. He may have run out of gas here at the front of the field. Bit of a scramble further back. Man, the Hyper Trucks really scrambling for position back there. Not sure what happened. I think everybody's scrambling here to the bottom of the racetrack. We may be about to see some pit stops. And, man, Michael Clay, get out of the way. The train is coming, and coming in a hurry. And, man, look at the scramble up front. These guys are all over the place halfway down the backstretch and into 3.
They are. Look at Sierra Clampert. We got a chance to talk to her early on. Here she comes, leading the outside lane. Sierra Clampert, a lot of confidence after a podium earlier. Oh, and we got a caution.
And, man, at the worst time if you're a fan of green flag pit stops, and I'm not.
Looks like a big stack up towards the back. You see Austin Green get driven through by Tyler Vickery. Big stack up on the bottom, and then Vickery gets drove through by Galati there, sends him around.
So terrible timing if you're a fan of the green flag pit stop cycle, but Vickery does get out of shape. He goes sideways and he goes backwards on the track. That's why the caution flag was thrown. And good catch there at the tail end of the field. And an innocent slide. Doesn't look like anybody's really got any major damage on this one. Again, we'll have to go a little bit further back, see where this checkup began. It was up ahead as the field went by the lap truck of Michael Clay. Let's actually go up higher. We're going to have to get a little bit higher up here to see where this one starts. And you see up ahead, Danny Barnes in the 7. It starts up there with Danny Barnes. It starts to check. You see Osbornas on the brakes, Westmoreland, Vondel, Miller, and unfortunately, the further back these checkups go, the worse they get. And right here, it's unfortunate. Austin Green's going to get some help. Vickery's going to then get some help from Joey Galati. Green's able to keep the truck straight. Vickery, not so much. Tyler Vickery, the PGR entry, goes for a spin. Lucky for him, the caution comes out. He'll keep his track position back there towards the tail end of the field. But a tough break there for the couple of those trucks that got out of shape.
Pit stops coming here. We talked about that track position mattering, and that happened. You got the people going in that third line, trying to make it work, gaining that track position. Austin Green got his teammates in the position that he wants to. Sierra Clampert with great moves. She's sitting in second place as the pit stop start. Hopefully she's got a good stop here in the box, and Ryan Baste leading that field here.
So we'll go back live. We'll watch the race off pit road, see who the first truck is able to get off pit road. It's a great stop for the 17, but just a little bit better for the 73, as Baste will win the race off pit road. Richard Elliott, David Sheets, Mike Davenport. So it looks like a lot of everybody kept their track position that was already up towards the front. Doesn't look like anybody lost a ton of track position. And the big winners out of this one, David Sheets, Mike Davenport, those trucks up on the outside, as well as probably the biggest winner out of this cycle, Sierra Clampert, who just took advantage of everybody going to the bottom, said, I'm going to go to the front. She'll restart second here with 10 laps to go.
I was able to, sorry about that, Baker. I was able to grab David Sheets in here. David, looks like you've been running up front all night. McCullough Motorsports very strong with you, Ron Morris, Austin Green. Ran a great race. Can you get it done here tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can get hooked up and get the three of us together, see if we can get all three of us out front. Hopefully, Sierra's ready for a big push here on the restart. See if I can get her out to the lead.
Yeah, we were able to talk to her earlier. You know, she's got a lot of confidence. You know, from our vantage point, she's been racing a really good race, really smart race, kind of methodical, but keeping her truck clean. You know, it's obviously you get to race around a lot of people, but maybe not her as much. You kind of looking forward to this next restart. Going to stay on the bottom? You looking to go middle?
I don't want to be on the bottom. Trying to get off. Definitely want to be on the middle. Third lane seems to be working okay if you can get enough trucks hooked up, but I'd rather get in this middle lane and control it.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to keep an eye on that one truck tonight from McCullough Motorsports. David Sheets, good luck, boss, the rest of the way.
I appreciate it.
Good to hear from David Sheets in the one, a former winner in this series. He knows how to get the job done and get to victory lane, and really could use that help tonight. He is locked in, but he has a couple teammates that aren't. You heard him talking about he wants to get his teammates hooked up here, wants to get those McCullough Motorsports trucks toward the front, namely the 76 of Ron Morris is actually Mark Vondell as well. They are 15th, 16th in points. Need to get those trucks up front if they have any hope of making the championship race.
We're going to have a 10-lap shootout here on our hands. Sierra Clampert in one of the best positions that she's been to try and win one of these races. Little guy, PGR, RMR, you name it. She's been in it. She's just had some unfortunate luck throughout this past couple of months, what have you. But very good super speedway racer. She's proven it time and time again. She's up front here trying to contend for the win for sure.
So we will have 10 laps to go. We go back under the green flag. Ryan Bass, Sierra Clampert on the front row. Richard Elliott, David Sheets are row number 2. Mike Davenport and Larry McDonald will be row number 3. It'll be Zach Ranger, Ron Morris on row 4, and Thomas Parker and Danny Barnes on row number 5. As we approach this last restart, pit stops now not going to be an issue. Everybody's good on fuel. Got to imagine it's going to get really aggressive here the rest of the way.
It's going to get aggressive, and one guy that wants it to be aggressive is Nash Brilla, is the first truck a lap down, sitting back in 25th. He wants to be on that lead lap just to make sure that he's good on points. I think he'll be fine on points even if he parked it right now, but still wants to get up and secure himself a little bit of money. He ran up front great and then got spun off to the grass. After that, had internet issues, ran out of fuel, just all over the place, still just one lap down.
For sure. Well, right now with Ryan Bass there in the lead, he's been great on points. So has Richard Elliott and David Sheets. So Sierra Clampert, the biggest benefit right now to her is kind of staying up front. She's on the outside looking in, but with only a few laps to go, she has a big chance to get right up here in the championship race next week.
And she does. Sorry, but Cole Fitzpatrick ahead of Sierra Clampert, and Bobby Forbes also ahead of Sierra Clampert. So look for Cole Fitzpatrick and Sierra Clampert to try and finish near each other so Cole Fitzpatrick can lock himself in.
A few chances to walk off your way into the championship race. Green flag is back in the air. 10 laps to go. It is crunch time at Talladega. And again, a great restart on the bottom. Bass is clear. Richard Elliott might get clear as Sierra Clampert's help gets to her. And watch out. Here comes Mike Davenport for Team PGR. How aggressive does he get here off turn number 2?
Zach Range thought he was clear. Couldn't get up in time. Mike Davenport goes up. It's going to stall this top line out. Just with the momentum and the way it swings, Zach Range going to get to Richard Elliott pretty quickly. I think that bottom's still going to roll through 3 and 4 here unless Sierra Clampert can give a big push. And she's doing it. She's giving a great push to Mike Davenport here on the outside.
Yeah, David Sheets said he didn't want to be on the bottom, but the bottom is moving right now here. Coming into the tri-oval, Mike Davenport's going to lead the outside, but Ryan Bass is leading the race with the great pusher, Richard Elliott, right behind him.
Huge outside move right there by Devin Ray. Go ahead, Dawson.
Oh, they are trying to get the middle line going, but I was just going to point it out. You actually took it from me right there as Devin Ray gets the third line going, and that would be a walk-off winner if he can get to the victory lane. And what better pusher to have behind him than his KSR teammate, Trevor Osronaut. They have been pretty much dormant all race long since the first incident and they've got the third line rolling down the Alabama Gang super stretch. Ryan Baste, it's going to be a welcome sight for him to look out to that third line and see his teammates coming forward. He'll go up in front of Davenport. He'll lead, but Davenport goes a lane higher. He splits him into three.
Splits him into three. Big move there on the outside by Davenport. Really stacked up the bottom and the middle lanes. Huge shove coming from Devin Ray. He wants to get up front, but will he clear? Mike Davenport in front of his teammate Ryan Baste. They're 3-by-3 out of 4 coming to the tri-oval. Sierra Clampert still doing a great job. She's managed her attempts well, managing that middle line, trying to get herself in position to win. But look at that outside push. Devin Ray pushes Mike Davenport to the lead. He'll drop down.
Racing heading here into turn number 1. Davenport's going to go middle. Devin Ray's going to lead the outside. Richard Elliott now on the inside. He's going to get a push from Zach Range. And all of a sudden, man, I'll tell you what, we have 3-wide action about 6-7 trucks deep.
I'll tell you, the hungriest driver in the field is going to be Devin Ray or Mike Davenport because both need good runs tonight. Ray more so than Davenport. He's below the cut line and can walk off his way into the championship race. That top line's temps, though, I think they're starting to give out. They might need the help of their teammate. They're going to get it. Ryan Baste goes up. Oh, no! Davenport throws a block. A wreck begins off turn number 4. Parker Range around and another caution.
She's going to get clobbered. Bumper off. Sierra Clampert stays with me over there after the caution.
And more trouble is Richard Elliott. He's going to get hit again. Mark Vondell's involved in this. Thomas Parker. And we're going to have to get a healthy examination of this one. There are a lot of trucks with damage as another wreck starts off turn number 4. This one started with Mike Davenport. And look, this is a bit of a panic move in my opinion. I'm not sure if that's the case, but he sees Ryan Baste go to the top. He knows the help in the middle has started to fade with Ryan Baste moving up. And watch now as Davenport. Watch Baste. So Baste is going to move first. And this is a smart move. This is exactly what KSR wanted to do. This was fully planned by KSR. They wanted to get him clear. They knew the temps were starting to go. And when Baste goes up, it's going to give them a massive run. And Davenport, he maybe just kind of panics, has to make a split-second decision, tries to drop down. But Range is pushing too hard on Richard Elliott and just not quite clear. And Davenport goes for a slide. And this is the first wreck. Range up into Clampert. See Richard Elliott involved. Thomas Parker can't get away from that one. Danny Barnes involved. And then we'll go up further here to the second wreck. Oh, it actually started up top. Ray down across Sierra Clampert. He gets into the side of their 17. She goes for a slide. She's going to get hit by Osronoff? Not quite. My goodness, Trevor Osronoff. I mean, that's the closest call of the race. But you talked about Cole Fitzpatrick Baker. He's involved in this one, as is Ron Morris. Two drivers that really could not have afforded an incident. Man, Fitzpatrick gets clobbered by Richard Elliott.
Vondell as well.
He goes for a slide.
A little bit of right front damage as well.
I mean, this is a panic button moment for several drivers above or below the cut line. Man, Thomas Parker had the rest of it missed and then gets into the back of Richard Elliott there in the 0-2. We'll go to another angle here off turn number 4. So you'll see the Davenport incident start on the bottom of the racetrack. And now watch. We're going to try to figure out what happens to Sierra Clampert. So Range up into Clampert here off turn number 4. There's contact there. They bounce off of each other. And as they do, it's going to shoot Devin Ray off to the right. He gets the outside wall. And as he goes to correct off the outside wall, unfortunately, he's going to hook Sierra Clampert in a really dangerous spot right here in front of several trucks. Actually, wow, Brock Westmoreland, I didn't see that the first time. He went for a slide as well. The 4 trucks involved, I didn't see that. We'll go back in a moment and look and see what happened to the 4. Big hit for Ron Morris. Big hit for Cole Fitzpatrick. See Devin Ray sliding it all over the place, trying to keep that truck straight. J.R. Miller scrambles out of the way. Richard Elliott is going to get hit right here. He comes to a stop, but Thomas Parker doesn't quite get the memo, gets to the back of the 0-2. And that's when we saw Mark Vondell get involved. Let's go see what happened to Brock Westmoreland. I did not see this the first time. In the 4, he's running back here right around his teammate J.R. Miller. And let's see what happens to the 4 machine. Oh, wow, he got some help. Mark Vondell got in the back of him. Off turn number 4, and Westmoreland's going to go for a slide. We'll see if he spins it. Perhaps may take a little bit of a scenic route here down pit road. Let's see where the 4 ends up. No, he actually saves the truck. Wow. If he keeps this thing straight, this is a heck of a save by Westmoreland, because I thought for sure he was headed for the inside wall. And, man, that is a drive and a half out of the 4 of Brock Westmoreland. let's go on board with him. You're on board with Brock Westmoreland for Team PGR. You see the wrecks start, the C's start to part, and he gets hit. Look at this bit of driving. Back in the gas, off the gas. Gets it righted. Gets it going back straight. Now, they start to wreck again up in front of a man. Calamity. Off turn 4, sends us to a late restart and throws the point situation into all kinds of chaos with 5 laps to go.
It really does, and I'm sure the 55 of Mike Davenport wants that one back. Kind of the second mistake of his race tonight. This one's going to be much bigger, though. What a great run he was having on the top there. Probably should have just stayed middle, wait for Sierra, the 17, to get to his bumper. Probably would have had to drop, a couple spots back, but they could have regained that speed there, in that run. So I'm not sure if he was able to see coming down there, Richard Elliott there, but try to make a bold move. Unfortunately, didn't pay out for him. You had those 3 KSR guys, lined up right behind him, and kind of knew that he might be dead in the water up there. But Mike Davenport, we'll see if he can get that truck repaired. I'm not sure if he's, going to be able to do that and have enough time to get back to the front. But good run for him. Just one mistake might cost him here tonight.
So as we get ready to go back under the green flag, we'll reset the points and the field for you. Ryan Bass, Devin Ray on the front row. Now the question will be, how much damage did the 2 sustain in that incident? He needs to stay out because of the points situation, but it sure looks like that truck has some significant damage. We'll see here on the green flag. David Sheets and Trevor Osronoff, they'll be row number 2. Danny Barnes, he could walk off into the championship race tonight with Ron Morris on row 3. It's Heath Job and Dustin Carruthers on row 4, and then the PGR teammates J.R. Miller and Brock Westerland, both already locked in. They will be on row number 5. Devin Ray is in the most point-sensitive spot right now, considering he could throw this entire playoff for a loop with a win here tonight. Let's see if he can walk his way off, but how much damage is aboard the 2 as we get ready to go back green with 4 laps to go. So into the trial will they come. Ryan Bass, Devin Ray. The field tightens up, and now it really gets interesting. With only 4 more circuits around Talladega, we'll know our playoff field in 4 laps. Gets through it. Everybody's good. It looks like into 1 and allows the KSR teammates to both clear down in front of Devin Ray here in 1 and 2.
Yeah, Osronoff's going to play blocker for Ryan Bass here. Try and get him up here and get that win for KSR. But that charge on the outside, Dustin Carruthers giving a big push to Rob Morris Jr. Will Bass jump up? He thinks better of it. No real formation there on the outside line. And you've got that KSR train choo-chooing down on that bottom yet again.
Well, Bass, he could not want anybody else but his teammates on the bottom, and actually has a teammate second on the outside behind Ron Morris as well. This is exactly where KSR wanted to be trouble. In the back, a couple trucks around, couldn't exactly tell who it was. Mike Davenport in the 55's one of them. He comes to a stop on the apron and sends us into overtime. We'll go back, we'll take a look. It started back around Mike Davenport again, and I think it's going to start in front of them. I have a hunch.
Exact range, tries to force it towards the middle. Galati comes down on him into Joseph Allen. Allen gets up the track.
Man, look, I get it. Zach Range in a pretty sensitive points position right now, not far above the cut line, and hasn't had the best night, but forces the issue there. And the big losers out of this one, Joey Allen. And unfortunately, you're going to see Galati come off the wall and netcode tag Mike Davenport in the 55, who had just gotten out of that last incident. And Mike Davenport slides down the banking, slides off the yellow line, and man, a tough break after tough break tonight for Davenport. We'll look at it again. As they went off into turn number 3, you're going to see Range go through the middle, and again, look, I love this move. The room is there, but Galati, I don't think quite got the memo that those 3 trucks were 3 wide. Squeezes down and keeps squeezing down, and not enough space in those 2 lanes for 3 trucks. They come together. Allen goes sideways, and you'll see again Davenport get netcode tagged right about there and goes sliding for a spin in turns 3 and 4 off the bumper of Joey Galati. We'll take one more look at it before we go back live from up above so you can see what I mean one more time. You see Range in the middle there underneath Galati. They squeeze together here in fourth. You see Galati keeps on rolling down the hill. Did not get the call. They were 3 wide in time. And Davenport, innocent bystander, along with Joey Allen. And man, Zach Range got really lucky. Actually, you see that kind of net code contact with Michael Clay. He got really lucky. He did not go sideways again right here. But Mike Davenport, not quite as lucky. He goes for another spin and slides it to the inside banking. Now, lucky for him, did not get hit, so he'll be able to stay in this race, but does go for a spin.
Oh.
And so it sends us into overtime, and Mike, I understand you caught up with another driver.
I did. It's the 76 of Ron Morris. Ron Morris, you are in a KSR sandwich. Ryan Bass, Trevin Ashburnoff in front. You're going to have Devin Ray, Dustin Crothers behind you. It looks like your teammate is going to be behind them. David Sheets, man, how are you going to get this done? How are you going to break this KSR sandwich here?
Yeah, I was sitting up here earlier thinking, you know, now I know how it feels when all us McCullough boys are surrounded, you know, like all those McCullough tailgates. So, yeah, I've been in a sandwich of a bunch of KSR drivers. Yeah, hung out by them one time earlier tonight, went back a little bit. But, man, it's been a fun race. It's been a really fun race. These guys they're fun to race against. They race clean. You know, I just need a good finish to get into the championship, but I want to win, so, you know, I'm going to give it all I can. I know Devin's got some damage, so he's kind of slow. David's close by, so I feel good. I feel good about our chances.
Well, you know, we'd love to see you win up here. You've been making some good moves, aggressive moves, smart moves. You know, you've led some laps in this thing. You know, we believe you could get it done tonight. Awesome job last night on the Money Stop podcast. Got to watch it back today on my way into work. Awesome what you guys are doing and what we're all doing here to kind of build up the sport and the community. You know, RMR tomorrow night, Tuesday night. I think we're heading to Atlanta. Got anything to say about that race before we let you go?
Oh, man, it's going to be a good one. We're going to do some slipping and sliding. It's going to be a little bit different race, so tune in to see it. It should be a good one. But, yeah, got a lot of compliments on our podcast, so it's going places, man, and it's a lot of fun to do, man. I enjoy it, so look forward to the next one.
It's for sure a lot of fun, man. Well, you know, it'll be a lot more fun if we see you in Victory Lane, Ron. So good luck. Pull those belts tight, man, and go get it done.
Yeah, appreciate it. Hope to see you guys in a few minutes.
Ron Morris, one of the co-hosts of the Money Stop podcast that we did last night. I was live for the first time on PGR eSports. Go check that out. It's on the channel now. Had some great conversations about the state of money racing, the state of the NASCAR world last night after the Cup race in Richmond. Had several really great driver interactions, driver interviews, including Kenny Stamper and Trevor Osronoth, who, ironically enough, starts on the outside of row number 1. Here's we get ready to go under the green flag. So you heard Ron Morris there. He indicated that Devin Ray is going to be off the pace, but, I mean, guys, he had no choice. Devin Ray had no choice but to risk it here and try to get to victory lane or try to maximize his points night. How's that going to affect this restart with him being second up on the outside line?
I think it's going to really hinder Osronoth, but I think Bass is going to jump up as quick as he can. You're just going to see Carruthers pushing for everything he can to Ron Morris. He knows he's got his teammates up front, but he's had a little bit of bad luck there towards the beginning part of the year. He's turned a little bit around here towards the back half of the year, but he'll be pushing for all he's worth. He knows everyone up here. These top 6, these top 8 trucks race really clean, and Mark Vondell included, just trying to get the truck home and secure himself a spot in the championship.
Well, I tell you, Ryan Bass, for all the bad luck he's had in this series, he is locked in on points as of tonight, but he really would love to finish this one off and go to victory lane for all of the terrible luck he's had running in this series late in these races. He would love to get the job done tonight, as would his teammate starting to his outside, Trevor Osronoth. We'll see how it goes. Overtime attempt number 1 about to get underway. It's the teammates on the front row. What's going to happen with the 2 truck on the outside? He borderline needs to win here on this potential last restart. Into the restart zone they come. Green flag is back in the air, and off they go towards 1. What a start on the outside for the KSR boys.
It's a big jump on the outside lane, getting a push from Devin Ray. It's going to stack up both lanes just because that damage is not able to get to the back bumper like he would like to. Gets there now. They're all going to be stacked up here. Piper is going to be hungry to try and jump up to the top. I just don't know if they're going to have enough tips. Cole Fitzpatrick towards the back, cuts off the nose, but he keeps it going there. On the bottom, you see Ryan Bass leading here. Oh, big blink out, but he's still fine up front here. Ron Morris giving a big push off in the 3.
Yeah, it looks like a train at KSR, but I'll tell you what, if David Sheets wants to go 3, he has his chance. I think those Hyper guys will follow him. It'll be up to Austin Green from there to see if Hyper and David Sheets can get to the lead. But right now, that bottom's prevailing here into the tri-oval.
Oh, they made a mistake, I think, guys. They let the KSR contingent get clear, but Ron Morris doesn't let it fly. Ron Morris with a massive block as they hit the white flag. Morris to the lead.
Ron Morris is going to have to block to the bottom at some time. You know Carruthers is going to go down there. Ron Morris, he's splitting both lanes. Great job managing the lanes there. Base gets a little bit out of shape.
Wreck it out back! Base turns! Base turns!
There's several of them around here off turn number 2. Down the backstretch, they continue to wreck back. That's Zach Range. We'll have to check the points in a minute. But up front, who else would go to the lead into turn 3 but the winningest driver in the series? Here's the problem. He's got no help. Blocks Morris to the inside. Ron Morris will get another look at him here off turn number 4. Where did J.R. Miller come from? The 76 shot out of a cannon. Here headed towards turn 4. Mark Vondell, trouble. Westmoreland's into the outside wall. Clobbers the wall. Fitzpatrick is involved. And we race back to the checkers. Morris outside, inside, turns for 10. Ron Morris to the lead. Can anybody get back to him for the race win? At the bottom, Miller to the inside. Ron Morris wins.
4 wide.
Ron Morris Jr. survives at Talladega in a 4-wide photo finish
Oh my God.
to go to victory lane. Incredible stuff.
You guys catch your breath
We'll go
yet?
back and give you the margin of victory. I'm catching mine still.
I'm out of my seat, guys.
Wow.
I'm out of my seat.
Ron Morris, I mean, I thought he was dead to rights when he got way out front. You know, he turns the 10. He gets way out front of the rest of the field. I thought he was dead in the water. He was a sitting duck. When he got down there, we're going to try to break down everything that happened on this last lap. It's going to take a while, so bear with us because there was a lot that happened here. So we'll start with what happens to Ryan Baste. You'll see that happen. Actually, we're going to go back further. We saw that. We'll go back to about where, excuse me, not Brock Westmoreland, Zach Range I want to look at here in the 043 because they wreck out back. This is way behind the field. You see Range. Oh, he sees the wreck up in front. Oh, yeah, it actually starts way up further in front. We'll get an idea here in a minute of what happens to those trucks. It's actually Devin Ray that this is going to start right around these hyper trucks. And, guys, friendly fire. The 760 turns the 7. They collect Devin Ray as he's going to clobber the outside wall. David Sheets gets involved, and then this gets big in a hurry. Thomas Parker comes on. Larry McDonald coming on. He's involved. Michael Clay. Galati. Joey Allen. Several trucks involved in this one in turn 1. I mean, this is just the first of several wrecks on the front stretch. See McDonald and Range, they wreck for about a half a lap, it feels like, here off turn number 2. We go back up front. And we go down the backstretch, and then right here, this is the smartest move, I thought, for Carruthers. See, they ran out of help up top. They had nobody up there with them. He goes down to block Morris. Great block. And now watch Brock Westmoreland in the 4. As he's going to be the next one to go around. Let's see where he goes around here off turn number 4. Vondell, I mean, at this point, you're not really lifting. You know, we've seen it time and time again. You're not really lifting, and as he gives Brock one shove, it gets him out of shape. Then he gets him out of shape a second time, and unfortunately, the third time is not quite the charm for Westmoreland, who gets turned by Vondell. Big hit into the outside wall. His teammate Vickery, and the toughest break here is probably going to be Cole Fitzpatrick, who was in a position to probably make the end of the playoff line right there. And then, after all that happened, we had the exchange here between our two leaders. You see the turn right there. Carruthers goes sliding through the grass, and now watch this finish. They came through the trial. We're going to keep it slowed down for you because this is outstanding stuff. Miller got hit below the yellow line. I kind of worried about that when he went down there. And I'll tell you guys what won Ron Morris the race, and I know you guys see it too, it's that shove from Austin Green in the 87 in the last moment of the race. His McCullough Motorsports teammate found him and was the only truck capable of giving a shove. And, I mean, the image speaks for itself. Outstanding finish at Talladega.
Crazy there. I mean, 4 trucks under during the line, count of 5 that were Darren Miller, cooler headfield, down there to the background, he's getting shoved through by Austin, goes down below the yellow wheels, and he doesn't hook him, but the Carruthers incident looks like I'm watching Tesla last game that's coming to the line again. You can't block once in these trucks, block twice, it's pretty hard to pull off, but you saw what happened when you give that second block.
Yeah, God, I'm just still catching my breath, man. What last lap? I mean, could you run it up any better than that? We got to talk to Ron before the last couple races or laps there, and man, sure enough, especially after last night, he wanted to get to victory lane, and sure enough, he does. J.R. Miller came out of absolute nowhere to finish third. Oh my God! And Mike Davenport, look at that, finished in 4th place. I mean, where did he come from after a couple, 3 incidents tonight? Just a crazy race, man. I'm just coming down from it, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless.
You see the second block right there. We'll take one more look, and you see as he comes to block a third time, Ron Morris is already there, and obviously he's not going to lift out of that. He turns the 10, and right here, I'm telling you guys, he was too far out front. This should be impossible to win from where Ron Morris is at. And yet, somehow, as these guys all come to the trial, watch the 87 of Austin Green. He's going to shoot the gap and give a timely last-second shot to his teammate right about here. Watch this shot right here. Bang, right in the back bumper, and it propels Ron far enough forward that he wins the race. I mean, that is incredible out of Austin Green, first of all, to find his teammate in all that mess and be able to square him up and not turn him sideways. I mean, outstanding from Austin Green. We'll try to stop it again right at the start-finish line here. I mean, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Probably the best finish we've ever seen in this series, easily, by Ron Morris Jr. And we'll get that photo finish, and there is the margin of victory for Ron Morris. I mean, it couldn't get much closer than that here from Talladega. We'll go through your finishing results first, then we'll get a chance to talk to your top 3 in just a moment after an eventful finish at Talladega. Ron Morris ends the season with a bang. He finishes in the first position tonight. It's in victory lane. Trevor Osbernoth for KSR, he finishes in second. J.R. Miller, what a run he's been on. He stays hot. He comes home in third. It's Mike Davenport for PGR. What a recovery, by the way, for Davenport. Lost in that entire scenario was the fact that Davenport drove from 19th to 4th in 2 laps to come home in P4. Austin Green finishes 5th strong into his regular season. Mark Bondell, 6th. Great run with a 59. Tyler Vickery in 7th. Ryan Baste, 8th. Michael Clay, 9th. And Heath Joe rounds out the top 10.
Looks like in 11th we've got Nashburn Bill. A good recovery from him after going a lap down with the connection issues after he got turned to the grass. Dustin Carruthers in 12th. Cole Fitzpatrick in 13th. David Sheets 14th. Richard Elliott in 15th. Devin Ray unlucky on that incident, coming out of 4 there. Tucker McClendon 17th. Joey Galati 18th. 19th we got Zach Range and Danny Barnes rounding out your top 20.
Brock Westmoreland, 21st. Larry McDonald, 22nd. Thomas Parker, 23rd. Joey Allen, 24th. Sierra Clamper, 25th. Sean Corbett, 26th. And Logan York, final car on the lead lap, in the field tonight, finishes in 27th. Stay with us. Stay tuned. We're going to go grab your top 3 for some interviews. We'll be right back here from Talladega. Stay right here. Back live at Talladega, starting off your top 3 interviews tonight after a wild finish. We'll start with the man in third, JR Miller. Michael Triscaro stands by.
JR Miller, where'd you come from, man, on that last lap? I mean, let's just start right there.
It was just I kept getting lined up in the bottom. I didn't really like it, but I tell you what, that last green white checkered there, for some reason, the bottom line just went, and so I just went with it. And Tyler been helping me there towards the end, the last couple laps, and I was trying to stay with him, but I seen that line move down low, and Trevor was by himself, so I'm like, well, that's my run. And boy, Austin gave me a hell of a push there to get to Ron, but right when I got to Ron, I would have turned him if I would have stayed right, aimed for him. We had such a speed difference. So, and I think right as I got to Ron's bumper, Austin was a little bit offset of me and kind of turned me down below the yellow, but I wasn't going to take Ron out. I was really wanting to see him get a win.
No, I mean, you're one of the most respectful drivers out there, and it's awesome when it, goes around, comes around, and, you've had some good luck lately. You've gotten to victory lane. You've had great finishes, multiple cashes lately, man. You are just, it doesn't matter what series, whether it's Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday, it doesn't matter, JR. You are up front, leading laps. How does it feel just to kind of get that monkey off your back not too long ago, and ever since you have, just kind of put together a string of good finishes?
It just builds your confidence. I mean, when you have good teammates around you and you have these kind of people, the guys that we race with this series, there's some cautions here and there, but for the most part, I don't know how many times I about seen a wreck. I was almost in a wreck there with Brock there about 5 to go or something, but yeah, it's just having good people around you and getting that confidence build up. I think it's really starting to show right now that I've been running good. I've won a couple races, been cashing, that's always a positive. And, and just to hear people start talking about, that they've really noticed my improvement. That's what I want. I want the accolades of my fellow competitors that, we can race together and we can have fun and, make these races exciting for all the people out there in broadcast land.
No, absolutely. We sometimes we get to some green flag stops here at the Little Guys series. Unfortunately, tonight we didn't have one. We were close to one. So did that kind of take the strategy out for your team tonight? There's only so much you guys can do. It was, a lot of a wreck avoidance and stuff like that. So I know you guys, pride yourselves on that race strategy, on that fuel strategy, short pitting and stuff like that, which we thought at one point you guys might do. Did that kind of change the plan for your team, yourself, and eventually, change your plan for the end of the race there, essentially? Yeah,
I mean, we always talk beforehand. I mean, we've sort of figured out the pits a little bit more in the strategies and trying to, if we can get together and we're in line and we can pit together, I think we're right there with some of the best of them, and sometimes we get an advantage out of it. We just worked the plan. I mean, a bunch of cautions. I actually qualified pretty bad for, I was kind of upset about that, but, kind of worked my way back up. I did get caught in a big wreck there towards the middle of the race and had like almost 3 minutes of damage. So to come back from that and still have a shot there at the end, I'm just happy as hell.
Well, absolutely, JR. Well, you got a third place finish tonight. You got one win here on the season. You head to next Monday night's championship race. Good luck next Monday. We'll be here to call it. Anyone you want to thank or shout out tonight?
The Lord above, that's the number one man to thank. And then, got to thank you for letting me join the team. Hope I'm making you proud here, and I'm happy to be with these other guys, Brock, Nash, Mike, and Tyler. We've all got a pretty good team, and I'm starting to hear the PGR chant, every week. People are talking about us. So thank you guys for broadcasting. Thanks for all the work you've been putting in with the website and the social and all that stuff. And got to thank my girlfriend. She's been downstairs doing remodeling the house all on her own while I've been up here playing on this sim. So got to thank her for allowing me to do this.
Absolutely, man. Well, we appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Good luck, man.
All right, go Hawkeyes.
So that is JR Miller, driver who finished third tonight in the 78. And side note, big win for his Lady Hawkeyes tonight in the Elite Eight of the women's basketball tournament. So we'll now move to the man who finished in the second spot and it is none other than KSR's Trevor Osmanoff. Trev, it's the boys in the booth. You get a copy.
Oh, brother, what's going on, man?
Well, look, take me through this sequence. I mean, it's easily the most insane finish we've seen in this series, the most insane finish I've seen in a long time in one of these races. You come up a little bit short, but you were already locked in going into tonight, so I got to imagine second still feels pretty good.
Oh, yeah, of course, brother. As long as I can get up here and talk to you guys, I don't give a damn what I do. I just want to have an interview. So, basically, well, you said take you through it, I'll take you through it. All right, so KSR was supposed to finish 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slowly it started to dwindle, and then it was just me, Ryan, and Devin. And fortunately, Devin had some damage, and it didn't really work the way that we wanted it to. And down the back, it was just me and Dustin, and I told him to take the bottom, man, take it. And he took it, coming to the start-finish line, and I guess he kind of turned himself a little bit. I'm sorry, man. I'm still laughing. My heart is beating like crazy, like 230 strokes a minute right now, brother. I'm jacked up for this right now. That was a great finish. That was fantastic. That was awesome. That was so much fun. Sorry, I'm taking over the interview. But yeah, what was your question, man? Sorry about that.
Well, great finish, great race, and you guys, you have several of your trucks that are now going to be locked into that championship race. You, Dustin, Ryan, all locked in, as well as Thomas Barker, I believe, unofficially should have made it in. We'll have to look at the points here in a moment, but I believe you guys are going to have 4 trucks in that last race. So, we talked to you last night on the podcast about the growth you guys have had as a team. Now, you put 4 trucks in the championship race unofficially. How does that feel for you guys over there at KSR?
So tonight's goal was to kind of get to get Devin in on points, because he kind of has to race every year of the week based off his work schedule. So I don't know how officially that would be tying in with the points where everybody finished. But aside from that, we got 4 trucks locked in that we know of. Great, fantastic. We're just gonna do what we normally do, brother, and hear that train a coming. We tried to get the train going tonight, and they just locked us down one good time. But we're just going to try to prepare for this championship race and go take it. And we're trying to get the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the goal. So we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there, brother.
Well, absolutely. We saw BAR finish 1, 2, 3 in last season's championship race. You guys look to do that again here in 2 weeks. So we'll let you go and enjoy it here in a second. But before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Hey, brother, I got to thank all the boys in KSR, all the teammates here tonight. We did our dandiest. We had Ryan up there, Thomas up there at one point in time. Devin gotten some damage, so did Dustin, but we tried to help each other out all race. Got to thank Scott Roney, and Brian Boussard in the booth helping us with damage and where the pace car was and what to do. Appreciate them. Got to thank the Jack Shack, brother. Always got to thank the Jack Shack. They do their best out here on the track, and got to thank you guys for the amazing broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch it. And yeah, appreciate y'all.
Well, we thank you for talking to us for a second. Congratulations on a second-place finish, a wild one here at Talladega. We'll see you in 2 weeks of the championship race.
Thank you, guys.
Trevor Osmanoff, our second-place finisher tonight, leads us to the man of the hour. Man, we just talked to about 10 minutes ago, one of the co-hosts on the Money Stop podcast, and that is Ron Morris Jr. for McCullough Motorsports. Sorry to cut you off, Ron, but you're in victory lane tonight. Take us through what ended up being an insane finish here at Talladega.
Hey, we meet again. I told y'all I hope to talk to y'all here in a few minutes. Man, like I told y'all, surrounded by KSR. I was like, man, they're surrounding us. But I felt good. I felt good about my chances. But I don't know, man. Dustin was coming. I made that move to the high side. I felt like that was a good move. And then, they wrecked behind us. And then, I was behind Dustin. I ended up behind Dustin, pushing him. I was like, hey, just gonna ride here in second. I was happy with a top 5, top 10 even to lock myself into the championship. But you know what? We got to put on a show here. And so we raced it out, and Dustin laid a block, and he turned himself off my nose. And we just talked, and he's cool. He said he was mad to start with, but if he'd stayed where he was, I think they'd have passed me. Trevor was coming. So, we're surrounded by KSR, but, hey, came out with a win. Austin gave me that bump at the end to nose me ahead a little bit. And JR kind of had a little mercy on me, too. So, I had a lot of help there. But, man, it feels good to win. I wanted that bad. So, ready to get this championship.
Well, absolutely, and that was what I was about to ask, is you guys have multiple trucks now locked into that championship race. So you're locked in Austin's locked in. David Sheets is locked in. Unofficially, we believe Mark Von Dell might also be locked in. He got a great finish there at the end, so he should be locked in as well. You guys are going to be well represented in this race. You're going to have to be to go up against KSR. How does this feel for you guys as a team going into that championship race in 2 weeks?
Hey, we feel good about it. We work together good. They do too. They're fun to race with, man. Those guys all race clean. I mean, even though Dustin and I got into it there at the end, they're clean racers, man, and a lot of fun to race with. This series is just so much fun to race in. We were just talking about that in the waiting room there. We all give each other a lot of respect. We give each other room. We make sure we're clear before we go down. So a lot of fun, but I feel good about our chances, man. We hopefully we get some green flag pit stops. We can make some stops, separate from some of the other guys and run away with it. That's what I'm hoping. But we'll see. That's in 2 weeks, right? And not next week, but the week after.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks time from now. So obviously wish you guys the best of luck there as you guys will be taking on 16 other drivers in that final race. You're in victory lane tonight, so before we let you go and before we let you celebrate, is anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Oh, man, thank you guys for broadcasting this PGR. Man, Money Stop. Listen to the podcast. It's a lot of fun doing. I enjoy the heck out of it. McCullough Motorsports, my teammates, Ron's Race Paints, Ron Morris Racing. Check us out tomorrow night. Tuesday Night Thunder. Should be a fun one. That's it, man. Look forward to watching this tomorrow at my lunch break.
Well, we appreciate you talking to us for a second. Congratulations on winning a wild one here at Talladega, and we will see you in 2 weeks for the championship race.
I appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
Ron Morris, our winner here from Talladega. And with that said, we'll jump back in here. And look, guys, I mean, this was as good as it can get. I don't think we could have asked for a better last race of the regular season, a better finish to the last race of the regular season. And as we crown, the last winner, Ron Morris gets the last win. He was already going to be in anyway. Incredible stuff to end the race. Your guys' thoughts here as we wrap up the regular season for the Little Guy Series.
Yeah, it's just a great race overall. Jumped in a little late, but the action didn't cease from when I jumped into the checker flag being thrown, and nice to see someone trying to go for the win, making those blocks. I know Carruthers probably wants to look back at that and think that maybe he shouldn't have made that second block, but he knows if Morris gets to the inside there, they're both sitting ducks. They've got a lot of momentum behind them, so just a lot of fun to see guys going for it, sending it like we always do throughout the week, and it didn't disappoint here for the little guys.
Just an overall awesome finish. If we can just clean up some of that beginning and middle part, which we've had kind of earlier in the season, we could even make it that much better. But shout out to these drivers, man, for putting on a show every Monday night. He kept me on the edge of my seat. Had no clue how that final lap was going to unfold there with the way they were racing. And, that's all you could ask for, man. Put on a show, put on a great broadcast, and you need the drivers to do it. And they went for it. Ron went for it. Dustin, Devin, all these guys going for it. And that's all you can ask for. So looking forward to the championship race here on PGR eSports, and looking to see who's going to end up graduating from this thing here in a week from tonight.
Yeah, we will graduate a driver from this series in 2 weeks' time. And a quick note on that, it is 2 weeks from tonight. We'll take next week off. There will be a race. There should be a broadcast. It will not be the championship race. It's a quick note, and we'll say that again next week as well. We do not have an official championship field for you. We can say, that the 10 we listed before the race, they are in. Dustin Carruthers, he is in. Mike Davenport as well should be in after tonight's race. Ron Morris obviously wins, so he is in as well. And several of those guys are in as well. Mark Von Dell locks in. Thomas Parker should lock in. From there, it gets a little bit more hairy. So we'll give you that next week from our mid-season race, if you will, as we hit the off week to prepare for the championship. We'll give you the official championship field at that time. 24 hours from now, a little less than that actually, back here on PGR eSports, Ron Morris Racing's Tuesday Night Thunder. Great segue by Ron Morris as we head to Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this race date on the schedule for a while. Atlanta's going to be a lot of fun. Slipping, sliding, a bunch of different kind of racing you're used to. Here live on PGR eSports, myself and Austin will have the call for you on that one tomorrow night. As these other two with me will be on the racetrack, and they'll be going at it once again on Tuesday Night Thunder. Thursday night, the PGR Series returns. Believe we're in the Xfinity cars this week on Thursday night, so that should be a lot of fun. Again, segueing off of Ron Morris Racing's Xfinity Series date this week. Should be a lot of fun. Great car track combo. Come back and watch that one on PGR eSports on Thursday night. And then Super Speedway Kings. Both races will be broadcasted this week. A double header for Jimmy Crow's Super Speedway Kings right here again on PGR eSports. Can't wait for that one as well. I'll have the call for you here on PGR eSports on Friday night starting at 9:15 p.m. Eastern for race number 1. Ron Morris Jr. wins into the championship race in a wild, incredible, memorable last lap finish from Talladega. Thank you so much to my broadcast partners, Mike and Matt Baker. Thank you all for joining me.